Piriformis stretch is a great exercise for decreasing back pain, even reducing what's called lumbar radiculopathy or sciatica. So lumbar radiculopathy is just a fancy name for radiating nerve pain down the leg. And the piriformis stretch is a hip opening, hip flexibility stretch done with the spine lying down, which is very important because then again the joints and discs are not being compressed. And the piriformis muscle is not the only muscle getting stretched here. You're getting all the deep hip rotators and some of the glutes lengthened in this stretch. But why we call it the piriformis stretch is because the sciatic nerve runs either through it or just beneath that muscle in the back hip, which is the buttocks. So specifically, the piriformis gets more credit than all the other muscles because of its close proximity with this big sciatic nerve. And again, it does address sciatica, so it is one of my favorites. I think more importantly is that the piriformis attaches to the sacrum. And what you're going to have, you have a right buttocks and a left buttocks. And here's the shape of the piriformis. It attaches down here at the hip and then up to the sacrum. And remember that nerve runs right through it or underneath it. So most of us have a right-left disparity in our flexibility, which means one of the hips is more flexible than the other. So what does that mean? It means that if this right piriformis is tighter, then it might rotate the sacrum to the right. So you get a sacral rotation or torsion. Well, who sits on top of the sacrum but the L5, fifth lumbar vertebrae? So it follows, it's attached to the sacrum. So it rotates because the piriformis is tight, and so does L4. Well, L4 and L5 are your most commonly herniated discs, your most commonly degenerative, worn out joints. And so this right-left difference in that rotation of the piriformis attaching to the sacrum directly impacts those lower lumbar vertebrae. So you're treating your lumbar spine as well as your hip during a piriformis stretch. Most people don't know why it feels so good. They just know, ooh, I like that one. I learned that somewhere and I always do that one. So I definitely encourage it. It's one I do every single day. And we're going to hold it for 30 seconds and repeat it 3 times on each side. And sometimes when my back's out, I'll do all on the right and then switch to the left, or vice versa. I do extra reps, and I recommend that you do extra reps to the tighter side. So most of your disparities, your tightnesses right to left, have been here for years. So doing an exercise once is not going to change that. So let's say you have a shorter piriformis on the right, and you've had it for years. You'll want to stretch that right side more than the left, and you'll want to know that it takes weeks to make a change. So it's something you'll do more regularly. When you notice a tightness more on one side than the other, just give a couple extra reps, and that's how you start to make magic and restore alignment. So the piriformis stretch is an alignment exercise. It restores alignment as well as flexibility, and it goes in my pain reducer group. So it's a pain reducing exercise. So let's get to how to do it next.